We're in the middle of this massive AI revolution, but something strange is happening. That initial explosion of momentum, it's starting to fizzle a bit. And it's not because the tech isn't powerful enough. Oh no. It's because there's this growing gap between what AI can do and what we're actually confident it should do. So, what's really going on?
So here's the core paradox, right? AI tools, all these amazing capabilities, they're everywhere. They're more accessible than ever. And yet, when it comes to companies truly adopting them in a meaningful way, they're hitting a wall. The barrier isn't access anymore, it's confidence.
And that leads us to the real question we have to ask. If the technology is ready, what's actually holding us back? Why is this engine of progress starting to sputter when it feels like it should be hitting ludicrous speed? Well, the answer isn't some technical bug or a missing feature. The real barrier, the villain in this whole story, is a fundamental lack of trust. Organizations are learning, and they're learning the hard way, that moving fast without guardrails isn't being innovative. It's just being reckless. And the data? Oh, it backs this up completely. A staggering 78% of organizations say security concerns are their #1 roadblock to adopting AI. They're worried they'll expose their secret sauce, their proprietary data, and just lose their edge. And it's not just about security either. 65% of executives see just letting AI run wild on unstructured data as a huge operational risk. It looks like the whole move fast and break things era is officially over, at least for enterprise AI. And get this isn't some static problem. It's actively getting worse. We've seen a 3-fold increase year over year in projects getting delayed specifically because of governance issues. The industry has hit a confidence crisis. So all these numbers, they're all pointing to one critical thing. A lot of companies thought they could just buy a cool AI tool, plug it in, and bam, instant advantage. But they're discovering that a tool by itself is not a strategy. In fact, without a real strategy, that shiny new AI tool, it quickly becomes a liability. And this slide lays out the two paths perfectly. On one side, you have the without strategy approach. This is basically just plugging AI models into a chaotic mess of unstructured data with zero governance. It's a recipe for security holes and endless experiments that go nowhere. But on the other side, you've got the with strategy approach. Here, everything is deliberate. You design the system, you structure the knowledge, and you build security in from the very beginning. Okay, so how do you actually build that strategy? It all starts with a clear framework, just like this one. You don't just dive in. You start by defining your business objectives. You ask, what problem are we actually trying to solve here? Then you design the architecture, you establish the governance, you implement the controls, and only then do you even think about scaling. The key takeaway is simple. Structure has to come before you scale, always. This brings us to the really constructive part of all this. If trust is the ultimate goal, how do we actually engineer it? Well, it takes discipline, it takes expertise, and honestly, it takes a whole new way of thinking about how knowledge even works inside a company. It all starts at the foundation with what we call the knowledge stack. And at the very bottom, layer 1 is storage. Just think of this as putting a really secure fence around your most valuable assets, your databases, your documents, all that data, before you let an AI anywhere near it. Next, we build on top of that with the organization layer. This is where we create structure out of all that chaos. We use things like tags and metadata to build a kind of map of all our information. We're turning a messy pile of data into something the AI can actually understand and navigate intelligently. Then comes layer 3, access. Now, this isn't an open door. It's more like a really smart gatekeeper. It makes sure that the AI only gets the exact information it needs for a specific task, and it respects all the security rules and permissions that you've already set up. And finally, right at the top, we have the activation layer. This is where all that carefully curated, structured knowledge becomes truly actionable. It's what powers your decision engines, triggers your automated workflows, and delivers insights you can actually trust. The real advantage comes from structure, not just from having the newest toy. Which brings us to a really crucial point, and it's captured perfectly in this quote. Having the perfect tech stack is not enough. Why? Because technology alone doesn't create trust. That's a fundamentally human thing. Look, a trusted AI system is only as strong as the people who are behind it. You absolutely need architects who can design resilient, secure frameworks. You need specialists who live and breathe risk, governance, and compliance. And you need leaders who know how to balance that constant push for innovation with real accountability. It's about investing in your people, not just in platforms. So what all this signals is a major shift in the industry. We are leaving that initial kind of Wild West phase of experimentation, and we are entering a totally new era where the rules of the game and what we measure as success, they're changing completely.
And this table here, it shows that shift perfectly. In the old experimentation era, it was all about novelty and speed. What's the cool new thing? But now, in what we're calling the trust era, the metrics have grown up. It's no longer about what's new, it's about can we trust it. Speed has been replaced by security, and having a long list of features means absolutely nothing if you don't have proven governance.
And you know who's driving this change? The market. Your clients, your customers, they're getting smarter. They're not impressed by big brand names or flashy demos anymore. They're asking the hard questions. Who designed your system? How is our information governed? How are you mitigating risks? Proving you're confident is now way more important than what logo is on the box. And that really leaves us with this one powerful final thought. For years, the entire conversation has been about capabilities, about what new, amazing thing AI can do. But that whole conversation has fundamentally shifted. The most important question moving forward is all about responsibility. Ultimately, the future of AI is going to belong to those who can solve this confidence gap. It's all about building that trust through expertise and real governance. It's about taking the incredible, awesome power of machines and anchoring it firmly to human values and human judgment.